right, we're live. Hello, Internet. Welcome. My name's Chase Davis, and I'm here with Madeline Davis, my wife, and Phil Kilgore of Tabletop Gaming Hobby. Me and my wife are going to be the ones heading up Cardboard Corner, and we're here to just kind of chat about that. Welcome, guys.
Hey, guys.
Howdy, howdy, folks.
All right, let's get this night started off. What are you guys drinking right now? I got some very fine scotch I was introduced to by Phil here. What about you guys?
I am also drinking a very fine scotch that I have already shared with you. It's the Balvenie 14 Caribbean cask, and it's worthy of such an august occasion as now.
And I have gin and tonic.
That looked like a double.
I mean, first time on Twitch, gotta calm the nerves.
Indeed.
It definitely is a double. I made it. All right. Like I said, thanks again, everybody who's here, and welcome. We're going to be doing this I have just a few questions we're kind of just going to chat about. It's going to be kind of a conversation type format. We are monitoring the Twitch chat, though. So if you guys have any questions that we don't get to, feel free to post it in there, and we'll try to get to those if we can. So let's start this off. Let's just talk about real quick. How did we meet, Madeline? Let's talk about how we met Phil.
Okay, so Chase and I were working on this concept in the North Kansas City area for quite a while, and we had several things lined up. We were getting started there, and then within a week, everything kind of fell apart. And then that same week, we had a mutual contact, Phil's old marketing director, actually reach out to us and suggested a meeting. And so then Phil reached out and said, hey, I want this and you want this, and we can just kind of meet up and partner. And then within a week, we were talking pretty serious about it. So
Madeline and Chase were literally the greatest find of the century for me, because, this is something the cafe bar, whatever we want to call this, has been part of the concept that I've had for years, but I have absolutely no knowledge of how to do something like that. And then when suddenly I find Madeline and Chase are literally the exact same age that Lynn and I were whenever we started Tabletop back in the 90s. So it just seemed pretty magical to me.
Yeah, it was definitely serendipitous.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely crazy how it all worked out. We're really excited to move forward. Man. So why this expansion? Why this type? And why now? Why is now a good time, do you guys think?
Well, now is probably the worst possible time to do this in the middle of a pandemic. But at the end of the day, we have to get started somewhere, and we need to get started now. And we're not going to all be living, not going out. We're all not, going to be, at some point, we get to come out and interact and hang out and do all this kind of stuff with each other again. And since our tabletop community has been on hiatus for so long, timing wise, we're going to get everything put back together soon. And about the time I think that everybody's ready to come up for air, we're going to have a fantastic place for you to come to.
Yep, exactly. It's been in the works for about 2 years with Phil, and we were going hot and heavy earlier this year, and then of course everything came to a halt right around March. But the timing really feels like it was a blessing in disguise, because we feel more ready now than we have ever. So the timing's perfect, actually.
Yeah, and and I think the pause that we had because of COVID and everything, Madeline and I really, re-examined everything we have for the business plan. And honestly, I think what we're coming out with in this environment and where we're going to go from here is better than what we had if we would have launched in March,
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a fun few months waiting and having to delay, but it was the right thing to do, and we really do feel very confident now. I'm very excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're all very excited, and that kind of leads into the next question or the next topic we kind of want to talk about is COVID and how things are going to look like with the cafe expansion with COVID. Just what it's going to look like for our customers and for the business model itself when we get open.
Okay, I can answer that one. So one of the major things we've been doing during the break, we have gosh, like 1,000 games we've been collecting between the store and all the people involved. And we've actually been corona proofing them, is what we're calling them. But really, what that is just making them waterproof so we can sanitize them between each use. And additionally, we have a unique opportunity because we're opening our business um, around COVID versus having to adjust existing business practices to fit COVID. We're actually able to adjust around it. So we're planning, increased cleaning, everything that a lot of restaurants are already doing, social distancing with our tables. But additionally, we're adding some private gaming areas and rooms to make people feel safe and comfortable when they're gaming with their group or their family, so that they can come out still and enjoy the community without being right on top of each other. So that's kind of our plan.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure we know people are a safe environment. We know people are going to be, craving that social interaction. So we want to make that a safe space where we can do that. Let's see. So that kind of leads us into, let's talk about some of the stuff that's going to happen at Cardboard Corner. Um, let's start with food. Madeline, you want to talk a little bit about what kind of food we're going to have?
Sure, I can totally do that. So, one of the things Chase and I started developing about a year and a half ago was this idea of the nostalgic game night with your family. And so, it started with cereal, actually. We were looking at the cereal bar concept that kind of took off on the East Coast. And then we kind of adjusted, realizing that wouldn't really work where we are. And so that led into waffles, which was our very first waffle we made, a cinnamon toast crunch waffle, which is like cinnamon toast crunch and a nice cream cheese drizzle. It's really good. And then we just kind of adjusted. And now, between us and a couple other people we've involved, we've developed a bunch of these artisanal waffles. That's been really fun and enjoyable to share with the community. But additionally, we're going to do some like shareables and bar food, salad, sandwiches, all of that. So some dips, just something that you can share with your community, and kind of feels nostalgic, like you're hanging out with your family. That's the goal.
Well, and something I will tell you, kids, Madeline came to me with the concept of a million waffles, and I was exceedingly skeptical until she started sampling it. And a lot of you guys have had a chance to have some of these because remember, we test marketed them a little bit. Madeline came up when we were giving away in the game room for some of our events. But when she said a pulled pork waffle, I was the most skeptical human on the planet until I had this thing. It was literally food voodoo. So, if something looks kind of different, please actually try some of this stuff. Oh my God, the things that she's able to produce are absolutely amazing. And it's not something you're going to find anywhere else. And it's really something you don't want to miss.
Yeah, I can second that there, Phil, man. When we first started getting these up and running, I mean, it's just been, I, I've put on a few pounds. I'm just going to say that.
Product research
It's
has a price.
we have to make sure it's good for everybody. So yeah, we've definitely spent a lot of time, especially Madeline, getting in there, getting these recipes fine tuned and everything, and we're really excited to share with everybody.
Yeah, and every so often, Robert, who is works at Tabletop and has for 5 years now, Phil, 4 or 5 years, he is coming with us to the cafe. We are stealing him right from Phil.
And
And every so often he'll just text me and he'll be like, "What about this in a waffle?" And it's like, okay, put it on the testing list. And some things work and some things don't. So it's kind of how it goes.
So along with the food and everything that we're going to be doing, not just waffles, we're going to have all the other stuff, salad, sandwiches, things like that for all of the masses. What kind of drinks are we going to do? We're going to have full bar esque capabilities, I believe. What are some drinks you guys are excited about?
Well, Phil can answer this because he just found us something that he's really excited about having at the
yeah,
bar. You were talking about your chocolate liqueur.
yeah, it is actually a chocolate rum that I found at a very small distillery up in Lyons, Colorado, called was it Creme de Coco, and this stuff is
Mhm.
stunning. And I kept thinking, okay, well, I want to make drinks with this, and we have experimented with them, and it will work well for that. But quite frankly, it is literally a boozy, delicious chocolate dessert in its own right. And so, things along those kind of lines. But
Mhm.
I mean, of the craft cocktails, and Chase and I both are strong fans of single malt scotches, so I know that there's going to be a few of those featured there as well. But Robert is really our mixologist, and he has really
Yeah,
cooked up some neat stuff. Um, and product
he's a
research in that
master.
category is super fun.
Yeah. Oh, what a rough life you guys have testing stuff, right? Yeah, but lots. I mean, we're gonna have some local stuff on tap. We're really working hard to keep almost all of our food and alcohol locally sourced. So we're gonna obviously Boulevard, that's a staple, but we're working with a lot of other locals, Tomstown and stuff like that, to really push into that community local feel. And then of course we have all of our themed cocktails, so those will be really fun. We're excited about those.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're going to do some very, very fun things, and we're excited to share them with you guys. On to the next topic we wanted to kind of dive into. We have this whole cafe and expansion and all of this happening with Tabletop and Cardboard Corner. What does it look like? Like, how are we going to involve the community? What are some things you guys want to talk about where we're going to get the community involved with the new expansion?
You should take that, Mal.
Okay. Yeah. So we have a lot of people from the community helping us. Almost everyone we have involved is a regular, including like our architect, down to the person doing our outdoor signs and our person doing our mural. They're just regulars. I feel like Tabletop just has this wonderful way of gathering these nerds together, but a lot of times these nerds also have these great skills somewhere. We have Haley, who is our manager at Tabletop, who's a wonderful artist who's going to be doing some artwork. And like I said, our architect has been around since store one. So we have a lot of people at the core that are regulars that have been involved for a while. And then we actually have this really fun project we're working on with the miniature painting community that where we won't spill too many details yet, but we're involving about 15 to 20 of our miniature painters to have some stuff at the cafe that we're really excited about. And then we're also working on a writing project to kind of announce some details about the cafe, but we're involving some local writers and GMs in that. So that's kind of the goal, just to bring people together.
Yeah, and very much, you guys during the COVID environment is because we've tabletop has been a feature for the game community in Kansas City for a long time, and to see our communities and stuff, not there with us every single week. What we're going to do is go back to our Thursday night board game club. That will be such an important thing to get those folks back out. Our Tuesday miniatures group. We want everybody when it's safe and when you feel comfortable to come back out and help us rebuild that, because I know you guys are all still out there. And I know everybody's craving for a chance to get back together. But we're going to build a new, cool home. So when it comes back, everybody's going to be kind of new, but it's the same folks. We're gonna see all these people again, and we're going to build you a new house to do it in, essentially. And I think we're going to not just bounce back from this. I think our communities are going to get bigger, stronger, faster. Very, very Steve Austin kind of $6 million man kind of thing.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for that. I'm super excited just to see what comes from the new space and all of the different like amenities and stuff that we're gonna have, the food, and just I'm just super excited to see where the community goes from here. And it sounds like everybody is. So speaking of community, we have a few questions. If you guys are okay with those. First one is kind of from Devin. He said, he would like to know what kind of jobs might be available and how many. Do we have? I don't think we have specific numbers on that yet. But Madeline, do you have an idea of what that might look like as far as employment goes? I'm assuming it's going to be just closer towards time of opening. We'll probably release some stuff on social media and things like that. But is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, shameless plug here. Follow us on all of our social media accounts. We're going to keep you guys updated as much as possible. But this kind of goes into a question we had about the timeline of this. Obviously, our goal was actually opening last month. But right now, we are on track. Knock on wood, I only have a fake wood desk, but we're on track to open first of the year. So we'll probably do a soft opening around the New Year's and then a full opening after the first of the year, which sounds like a good old kick in the pants to 2020. But as far as jobs go, we will post those listings probably around October. And then we'll start training and hiring end of October, around November time. So just keep an eye out. We're going to try our hardest to involve the community And we have some other exciting projects going forward with some content creation with Tabletop that there's definitely some opportunity to monetize your nerdiness. So just keep an eye out, guys.
And on another note as well, since Madeline and Robert are moving over to the cafe, Tabletop's going to be also be looking to replace them because they're leaving gigantic craters in our staff. So around the same time frame, if you guys watch, if you are a gaming expert, especially in the areas of board games and miniature games and hobbies, we're going to be looking for 2 new specialists in that. And so anyway, dust off a resume, get your best geek on. So we're going to be needing you too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Next question. We have EMC11 would like to know if this is our first time running a restaurant type bar.
So
And
I
it
guess
is.
that's probably for, yeah, us obviously first time opening a business. But we both have experience in this. We actually went to a college that when you got accepted at the college, you had to work for the school for your 4 to 5 years to pay for your tuition. So huge blessing because we came out debt free. But we both did work at the restaurant and the cafe there for quite a while. Grueling hours, get up at 4:30 to do the bakery and then go to 4 or 5 classes and then go back to work. So it definitely prepared us for what's ahead. Obviously, we have a lot to learn, and that's just been like the blessing of having Phil and Tabletop is not only do we have 26 years, almost 26 years of customers to back us up and root us on the whole time, but we also have 26 years of business knowledge to help us out. So the connections we've made and the advice we've been given have just been amazing and honestly just like the best. It's just been awesome.
Yeah, just mirroring what Madeline said, extensive experience in food service and all of those things, and very, very fortunate to have Phil and all of his knowledge there to back us up with all the other aspects of it for sure. Let's get to let's do one more question for now. What are the game room hours going to look like for using the private game rooms, and how will the new spaces relate to the shop and the current game room situation? So what is all that going to look like after everything gets built out and everything's open? What does that look like?
Well, I will address the game room side. So that's being shuffled around quite a bit, kids. So the room is going to be partitioned, probably 2/3 of it. This is the back half. They'll back 2/3 of it. That's where we're going to be locating our 2 private rooms, which those are really they have a 4x8 table in them to accommodate about 7 or 8 people in each one of those rooms. We then have another area which is partially divided from the rest of the space. That's going to have a large number of wargaming tables located in it. Cool feature, which Madeline, I guess, is it okay if I mention what we're putting in there? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, that part, there's going to be a big roll down glass garage door that can be put into place to separate that room from the others for private events or other special special reasons that we might need to separate the space. But otherwise, it'll be part of the regular space just as normal. Our infamous paint table, the 24-year-old beast, is retiring finally, officially, for good, because it does not fit any longer. But it's being replaced by newer, sleeker, and longer, larger new paint table with new dedicated lights for it, with more seating than we've had before. Obviously, as we go into COVID, we're not going to have quite as many chairs there as it will accommodate later. But other than that, all right, so our game room is standard. There will be a new fancy doorway that sweeps over into the cafe space, which I'll let you take that.
Yeah, so the game room hours will mirror the cafe hours, which we will adjust as we go to see really what our community wants. Our goal here is to serve the community. So it won't close with the store anymore. The store's hours won't change. But as far as the private or the what do we call elite gaming spaces go, we really want to work with you guys. We don't want this to be something you guys have to, pay crazy out of pocket for. So really what we're going to ask is just like a minimum tab to maintain those private rooms. They're going to be really cool. They're going to be themed. All of them are going to have some tech hookups, so you can have a sound system and a TV with your your game goodies up there, or whatever you guys use to play your RPGs. And like I said, that game room will mirror the cafe hours. So we're hoping we can find the best of both worlds. We know we're working with 25 years of tradition and customers, and we're trying to be as respectful as possible as we kind of move into a new era of tabletop.
One other piece I did want to mention to you kids, noise has always been a problem in any game room anywhere. We're spending a significant chunk of our budget on soundproofing solutions and other things to provide as best of a calm, quiet, well, calm is on you, but quiet environment that we can possibly furnish for you guys. So know that kind of noise control stuff, huge important factor for us, and that's for the entire operation. So we're trying to make it even nicer than it was before, definitely.
Man, we're so excited. I know on our end to just to see the new changes and again how this is going to impact and grow our community. And if we all think it's going to be for the positive and for the better and for the future growth of what we're trying to build here. So we're really excited about that. I was only going to do that one last question, but I have another fun one asked by Shadow Tool in the chat. Um, they're expressing some remorse about the end of the game table that's been there for so long.
I know.
Are there going to be any? Are there going to Phil? Are there going to be any plans for a memorial or observance of the last final days of the game table?
Actually, it's very funny that you mentioned that because I am planning on actually cutting it into some sections. And quite frankly, I'm going to take a portion of that giant behemoth home with me for my own personal workshop. I'm going to use that because, man, there's too much history in that piece to simply throw that kind of thing away. Know that it's portions of it'll have another home. And in fact, if anybody is interested, please reach out to us and we will actually cut a piece off for you.
Yeah, we're working with a local carpenter who is a regular. Again, he's going to make all the tables, and so we will make sure we work with him to get it all chopped up and memorialized for you guys.
Guys, there's a call in the chat for a Viking table funeral.
Oh, I'll see. It might be tough to pull that permit with Overland Park, but we'll see what we can do on that.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the permit because the one suggesting it was an ML Howard 3. I don't know who. Maybe that you guys know who that is, but maybe we'll see.
Sounds like our architect over there suggesting mayhem.
Oh my goodness! Thank you guys for all those questions. They're really great. So let's start moving into. We have a couple of insights, some sneak peeks maybe into what the new spaces might look like. So we're going to start talking about just a little bit of the design elements going into this. And if you guys see the screen there's changed, we got some slideshows going up. Let's talk about that for a minute. We can kind of see some of the what are some of the things that you're excited about, Madeline, as far as what the cafe is going to look like and feature.
Yeah, so one of the biggest things that I love are hexagons. Obviously, you guys have seen them all over our marketing. I've just been barfing them over everything, I feel like. So we have this really awesome bar that's going to go right in the middle. That's going to be this great like hexagon hybrid bar. Again, just feeling like that like center of the house, center of the community. We want you guys around us and hanging around. We want to serve you guys, and so the bar is going to be so cool. So excited about it. We can't wait for you guys to see it. We'll post lots of progress shots for you guys. But some other cool things, we have this cool custom chandelier that's getting made that's going to have a full polyhedral set that's getting made by Daryl, who makes all of our dice bags and our woodworking pieces at the store right now. And then, of course, our themed rooms are going to be have these beautiful murals in them. That's also a local and a regular named Laura. We're really excited to work with her too. She did a bunch of the murals at Garmin, so that's really cool. And then, like I said, all of our tables are made by someone we've known for a while who is a regular at the store too. And they're going to be just really nice. And I feel like the core of what we do is the table, the food, the games all go on the table. Tabletop gaming hobby. So we've really invested in making the tables functional so that you guys can both eat and game at the same time, making sure we can fit lots of people. So that's what I'm excited about.
I'm also looking forward. We are going to build some dedicated Games Workshop game tables This is, it's the most popular game that we sell. It's the most common request for sceneries and stuff. So we are simply going to commit to installing and having permanently set up some pretty fancy war game tables um, that will have fixed scenery, a little bit movable and stuff like that. But they're always going to be set up for customer use. That part I'm looking forward to a lot. But very much our new paint table, which can have even more butts at it. That is just so exciting to me because the painting table has always been this huge kind of center for for the geek community, and it's whether it's our board gamers painting board game pieces, role players doing stuff, or our war gamers, that's one of the most common spots that we see, that we get the largest and most diverse group of nerds all getting together to do the same kind of task, to share. And now suddenly we're going to get all this extra space with even more room to add more folks there to share ideas and stuff. Cannot tell you how excited I am with that. And and I think all games function much better with a beer in your hand. So I think that particular performance enhancing thing will be wonderful for every spot in the shop.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. Wholeheartedly. Oh man, yeah. So we talked about a lot of things. Yeah, from the food and everything, what's going to look like, what's the timeline. Where do we see? This is where we're going now. Do we have any plans for the future? Any kind of anything? What's after this? Or are we focusing on here? For now.
How much do you want to say, Madeline?
I mean, I'll just say this, Northland, we have not forgotten about you. That was our home for a very long time. We've not forgotten about you. We have plans.
Yeah.
Yeah, plans. How the next few years go. We have a lot of plans.
Yeah, if you help us get this first one and help us make this the place that you want it to be, there may be an opportunity to share this kind of plan with other parts to our metro.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for all of the. It's about as clear as we can make it right now. Guys, thank you so much. We're kind of getting into the last few minutes of our chat here. Just trying to see if there's any other questions we might want to talk about. Scamage wants to know if there will be any events like Paintapalooza hosted in the new space. Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely. We have.
And it's so funny because that was the last major event that we did right prior to the COVID lockdown.
Yeah.
And Elle and I had been talking about that particular piece was our test to see if this kind of thing was even feasible for us to do. Not just feasible, but was this massive success. And now that we're actually adding in such amazing amenities as additional outlets, we don't have to have wires and stuff running everywhere.
Now, guys.
Yeah. So honestly, our experience from Paintapalooza and stuff helped me and Madeline kind of dial in the idea of what some of these bigger, fancier events are going to be that we are so excited to share with you guys. And
Laura, who helps us a lot with our events, her and I were the big plan, man. We were planning every quarter. Our plan is every quarter to do a different type of con. So we'll do a Paintapalooza con, then we'll do a board game con, we'll do an RPG con, and then we'll do a miniature gaming con. So that is the plan. As soon as we feel like it's safe for you guys, that is absolutely the plan, and we're really excited to see where that goes. And now we can seat lots of people. So lots of painters, lots of butts, and lots of nerds. So we're very excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited for all of the events we're going to be able to put on. It's going to be just awesome with all of the new things that we're going to be able to have. Let's see. One thing to mention, along with all the new space and all the construction, we're going to, like Phil said, we're going to have a little bit better electronic capabilities. We're going to have some more outlets installed in the places around the shop and not in the shop, in the game room, in the cafe space. And also we're gonna kick up our Wi-Fi game a little bit so that we big time Wi-Fi. We want to sit around the table and we want to focus, but more and more, you have to get online to look up rules. You have to get online to how to play videos and what is my monster stat sheets. Everything's digital. We got digital books, digital campaign guides, all of those things. So those are also some things that are going to be coming with the expansions coming up.
Yeah, I will just say I feel like the shining moment of my career is getting Phil on Twitch. This is really like the highlight of my career, getting him into tech and all that. But we're really trying to bring everybody into the new age. We have our online store, and then all of our games at the cafe. All the demo games are going to have a little QR code that you can scan that brings up rules and instructional videos to make it easier for you guys to learn games and spend less time learning and more time drinking. That's our goal.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, we got one more community question here. Will the new spaces be available for rental for like weddings, birthdays, and special events and stuff like that? Absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, and in fact, core to the design of especially the remodel for the our existing game room space, Madeline and Chase have really put together a great plan for this. We absolutely are designing this thing specifically so if you guys do have a need for for any kind of private event, whether you just have friends in from out of town, you don't want them trashing your house, to a wedding, to a birthday parties, all those kind of things, and there'll be some additional services offered up and beyond anything that we normally have specifically for those kind of events.
Yeah, and one of the things within this development and growth that we're working on with actually Laura again helped with Panapalooza is some like corporate events and learning events. We're working with the library right now to kind of connect how board gaming can work with literature and education, especially now as a lot of people are going into that home learning. They're looking for those activities that are both educational and fun. So we're developing some courses that we'll be teaching, and we'll be using those private event spaces to host the library or or whatever. So that's something we're looking forward to as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So as we're wrapping up here, guys, we wanted to just talk about real quick about all of the other internet things that we're going to have going on here coming up in the next month or two. They're going to start ramping up as far as content goes. We have some new streaming capability. We talked about getting Phil on here. It might happen more now that we've done it once, so that barrier's down. And Madeline, do you want to talk real quick about some of the other classes and stuff that we have coming up and streaming content that we have?
Sure. Yeah. So we are actually with our online store developing an affiliate program and content creation program that we'll be announcing some more information about. But so far, we have a couple people we're working with. Daniel Fox with Zweihander is helping us develop some content. We're going to be doing some character creation with him. And we have a local painter who is at Rainer72 on Twitch. He is doing some painting classes for us, as well as Matt King doing some painting classes. And then we have a company actually out in California called Fabled 42 that's helping us with some content. So we're going to really try and up our online game for those of you who are not comfortable coming out to events when we know we're not running events for quite a while still. That's the choice that Tabletop's made to not run events until we feel safe, but we missed you guys. So we're doing some online stuff. I know. It's different for us. We're really trying to adjust with the times. This is not something we're used to. We like being face to face, but we're making an effort to develop some classes and events for you guys online. And we'll have a few things posted this weekend that's happening in August and September. Just keep an eye out. We're really trying to up our game there.
Yeah, and another thing, everything that we do is all community based, just like we're trying to source everything as much locally. If you guys have good ideas, you have some things, then you feel like you might want to contribute to that content, don't hesitate to reach out. This is everything about the KC area, and this is everything about our community of people. If you guys, every good thing that's ever happened to me came because it was just like meeting Chase and Madeline. It was all people that we discovered through the shop. So if you've got good ideas, bring them to us, and we would love to see if we can plug that in with what we're doing and help you out, help us out, and help build our community.
Absolutely, absolutely. We really love you guys, and we're really excited to see where this goes. So wrapping up here, is there anything, Phil, as we wrap up, is there anything you want to talk about real quick?
The only major change, which I will leave you on, the only down note that we have from the entire thing is going to be that we don't have outside food and drink anymore. That's the one thing I do want to let everybody know. That's the literally the only change that there's going to be from the way that we've done it before to where we're at now. But after that, kids, we're plowing all of our resources and love into building a new environment for when we are all safe and we can get back together. It's going to be bigger, better, nicer, and it's going to be the kind of place I think everybody's going to want to be a part of.
Absolutely. Going to be there every day, at least. Madeline, anything else as we wrap up?
I mean, no, just really just we want to thank you guys, Chase and I, especially. We're young and we're excited, and we just want to thank you guys for embracing us. The community of Tabletop's been amazing, and that was one of the things that Phil really pushed was when we came with him or came to him and gave him this idea. He said, "I want you to really meet the community and learn the community and learn how to serve the community and what they want." And so we did that. We spent some time with you guys and ran some events and learned what you guys wanted, learned all you guys' quirks and all the fun stuff about the tabletop community. And we couldn't be more excited. I honestly could not see it any other way. Now that we're here, it just feels like it was meant to be. So we're very excited, guys. Thanks for including us in this.
So very excited, guys. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to wrap it up here. Like Madeline said earlier, keep an eye on all of our social media platforms. We're very active there, and we'll be posting updates as they come along. So keep an eye out. I think that's going to be it for us. Thank you, guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon.